What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Now 2020 is just beginning, but there's already lots of big news stories and juicy gossip to report. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including AEW's new contract policy, Cody's grade for AEW in 2019, more news on the Lana and Liv storyline, why Chris Jericho thinks his AEW title is a prop, a real-life wrestling divorce, and backstage plans for WrestleMania 36. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as WWE Backstage ratings are down. FS1's WWE Backstage program saw its ratings decrease for the 31st December edition. PW Insider's Mike Johnson reports that the views total 97,000, down from last week's 153,000 viewers. Now, the ratings shouldn't surprise anyone, as viewers were likely celebrating the arrival of the new year, not watching WWE Backstage. Still, that is a significant drop. WWE Backstage's numbers continue to bounce up and down with no pattern to what brings in viewers or what causes them to tune in. Next up, Chris Jericho calls the AEW Championship a prop. AEW World Champion Chris Jericho has some very strong opinions about AEW, the reasons he signed with them, and the status of the championship belt he holds. In a recent interview with the music website Aquarian, Le Champion discussed what made him choose AEW over the WWE. "I did all I could do in the WWE. Now I like being part of a company that I'm bringing up from scratch. That appeals to me. I could go back to WWE tomorrow and I know exactly where I'd stand. I prefer being here. There's no limits, it's uncharted waters. We don't even know what's going to happen from day to day at AEW. Also, I think the fans like an alternative. Wednesday nights on television rock now." When asked whether he signed with All Elite in order to become the promotion's world champion, Jericho answered, "It doesn't work that way. I would never say that. The belt is just a prop anyway. The important thing is how you conduct yourself, how you work in the ring, and how you connect with the audience. That's much more important than having a title." It doesn't sound like Jericho is downplaying the championship's importance as much as admitting wrestling's work nature and that he hasn't really defeated anyone to win the belt. It's good to see Jericho's appreciation for what's really important in wrestling, connecting with the fans and entertaining them, and how excited he is about working in AEW. Next up, AEW is signing wrestlers to long-term deals. It appears that AEW is looking to sign its wrestlers to longer contracts than they originally did initially. PW Insider's Mike Johnson recently reported, "Khan's already looking at it like it's going to be around because MJF did an interview, I think in Long Island, where he said that they'd ripped up his original deal and they signed a 5-year deal. They're definitely starting to lock some talents into longer term contracts." With the WWE signing its talent to long-term contracts, it's no surprise AEW is following suit. While this is speculation, it seems that AEW is happy with business so far and concerned that the WWE might try to snatch up AEW stars just to damage their rival. But whilst we're still on the subject of AEW, how did Cody grade 2019? AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes is a busy man, guiding AEW behind the scenes in addition to wrestling in the ring, but he's always managed to find time to comment on social media and be interviewed about AEW. Recently, Yahoo Sports talked to Cody about AEW, with the American Nightmare discussing AEW's goals for 2020. "We've got to work our way across the country, spreading the brand. The number one way to hook the casual fan or the lapsed fan is the actual live experience. Moving west into places that some of our crew has never ventured into, that's a real confidence booster. Giving fans a chance to see what's the difference, why this is an alternative." He also reflected on AEW's run in 2019, grading the company's performance. "I think if A+ is the top rating and we're going off just the American standard, I think I would give myself an A rating. I wouldn't go higher because there's definitely been some things that I've learned in regards to this. Just so that my rating doesn't seem braggadocious or arrogant, the reason that I am so confident and optimistic about AEW is because of the fans." What grade would you give AEW for 2019? Next up, the WrestleMania 36 card is still unknown. Now, WrestleVotes is reporting that WWE hasn't figured out much of the card for WrestleMania 36. Talked to a source over the holidays who's been with the WWE for 10 plus years, who said they can't remember a January where so little of the WrestleMania card has been decided upon. said it's both refreshing as the WWE is keeping multiple options open, but frustrating at the same time. As some fans have commented, this isn't the first time such a situation has been reported. Still, there are at least two factors to consider. The first is that Vince McMahon has likely been spending much time working on the soon-to-debut XFL. The second is that Vince McMahon has been worse than ever than changing shows at the last minute, which could be the situation for the Showcase of the Immortals. As we've noted, there's talk of WWE continuing the Lana Lashley-Liv Rusev storyline into Wrestlemania. As for the rest of the show, it's been more of a case hearing what we wouldn't want to see, such as a Tyson Fury or Cain Velasquez vs Brock Lesnar match. WrestleMania 36 has reportedly not sold out yet, and when WrestleMania's intrepid interns checked Ticketmaster's website, there were seats left over, but the majority of them were in the upper deck. No word on how many seats are available on the secondary market, i.e. scalpers. Last-minute booking changes could work well, but for a big show like WrestleMania, it could lead to some problems and a lackluster show. Next up, some Lana Liv news. As we've heard how the Lana Lashley wedding was a success on YouTube and how fans are wondering what Liv Morgan's role will be in the storyline. According to Paul Davis of Wrestling News, Liv Morgan wasn't supposed to be involved in the angle. Liv Morgan was not originally supposed to be in this storyline, but plans changed and Paul Heyman wants to push her, so the decision was made to have her involved in the wedding angle on Monday night. This makes sense considering how the WWE was promoting Morgan's return with generic hype videos leading up to the 30th December Raw. While it's too early to tell how things will shape out for Morgan, she's attached to Raw's hottest angle, which should help her career. Speaking of Bobby Lashley's main squeeze Lana, she hinted at a return to the ring during a recent chat with TV insider Scott Fishman. Lana talked about the importance of listing your goals and your dreams and how you can make them happen. This year is all about clarity of vision. I'm super excited about 2020. Last year around April or May, I wrote down 100 dreams, wild dreams. Then I wrote down 10 goals that I wanted to achieve in the next 12 to 18 months. Lana claims she achieved many of her goals and added, "Yes, I will be getting back in the ring. Anything can happen. It's WWE, I'd love to be champion. Why not?" If Lana is planning to return to the ring, we can only hope she's honed her wrestling skills so she doesn't look like a throwback to the Divas era. Then again, if Stephanie McMahon can be WWE Women's Champion, why not the WWE's Ravishing Russian? Next up, a real-life wrestling divorce. Now we've seen a divorce play out on WWE television, but sadly one has happened in real life. This involves two wrestlers, BJ Whitmer and his wife Kelly Klein. Whitmer took to social media to announce his marriage is ending. "I have a personal statement to make. My wife Kelly Klein and I are divorcing. This is happening because Kelly breached the trust in our relationship by stepping outside of our marriage. This is the only thing I have to say about the matter. This has been a very difficult time for myself and my family. News of our split was already spreading around the business and I wanted to make a statement before it made it to social media or wrestling media." Whitmer, who has wrestled in a number of promotions including Ring of Honor, and his wife Kelly, who is current Ring of Honor Women's Champion, look to be heading for an acrimonious divorce as opposed to Diamond Dallas Page and his soon-to-be ex-wife. Next up, 2020 will be big for the Revival. As many people resolve to improve their lives in 2020, the Revival's Dash Wilder shared his own thoughts on what the new year holds for him and tag partner Scott Dawson. Dash tweeted, "2017 was a wash. 2018 we got our groove back. 2019 we took control back. 2020 we change everything." Would that be a change in promotion too? Next up, Elias's face turn revealed. While the WWE hasn't done a clear job explaining Elias's babyface turn, the WWE's resident singer, songwriter, musician and occasional grappler revealed it during an interview with the Memphis Commercial Appeal. Elias talked of taking a personal journey during his recent absence, revealing he had to get the fans behind him if he wanted to become a true superstar. "They need to be on your side, and it just so happens I've got the power to manipulate people with my music, with my words, with everything I do, and it looks like that is the approach I'm going to have to take moving forward." Elias also discussed his title aspirations, stating he's going after the Intercontinental Championship, followed by the Universal Championship. Like most of the WWE roster, Elias has all the tools necessary to succeed. He just needs the right push. One asked a question why the WWE hasn't used WWE television to reveal Elias's change of heart, further evidence of the company's problematic storytelling. And lastly, a new gimmick for Cesaro? Is the WWE Swiss Superman adopting a new gimmick? Cesaro recently tweeted, "Back to basic," and added a new logo. Cesaro's 2019 was uneventful once he and Sheamus dropped the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, largely being used to put over younger talent. Could this be a good sign for Cesaro or more of the same? His former tag team partner Sheamus may be returning tonight on SmackDown and looks to be in phenomenal shape. But there you have it guys, the hottest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.